Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Soul and Screen. In this particular video, I'm going to be discussing Tyler Perry's Sistas, Season 9, Episode number 13. I'm going to be getting into the conversation of Andi and Fatima and this whole work relationship, friendship, jealousy that's brewing. Let's get into it. So, I don't know about you guys, but I kind of knew that as soon as Andi found out that Fatima was the one that Karen called, that she was going to be feeling some type of way and having some kind of jealousy, tendencies and things like that towards Fatima once again. I say that because I am one of the people in the fan base who believes that Andi is being jealous of Fatima at work. I do, again, acknowledge that while they have a relationship where it is boss and employee and then friends as well, that can be a little difficult to navigate. I've been in that situation before, so I'm not discounting her being the boss and what she says needs to be done being done. But I also want to use this time to clarify a couple of thoughts that have come up in different conversations that I've had with people in the group, and just to kind of talk about some of my understanding of things. So first of all, Andi is Fatima's boss, right? Like that's not a doubt about it. She is her paralegal, so she works to assist Andi in getting, specific things and things that Andi is doing on behalf of the company done, right? But they both are agents of the actual law firm. And what I mean by that is that while Fatima does directly report to Andi, Fatima is an employee of the law firm as a whole. Just so, like, if you worked for a company while your direct boss is your direct boss, you still are an employee of the company. And so I say that to say, where some people are kind of like questioning why, sometimes Fatima uses the word client and things like that. That's kind of what you do when you speak generally and as a whole for the company that you represent. I am in corporate America, and I'm not saying that people who are in these comments are not, because I don't know where you guys work from or anything like that. I do understand everybody speaks from their own experiences and observations and things like that, just environmental stuff. So people's perspectives are different because of that, and that is one of the reasons that this channel is up for and the conversations that I want to have. But with that being said, of being a part of different corporate for as long as I have, I understand that people speak in a generalization term at times. So when a company, the company that I work for is representing a client or anything like that, you personalize them, right? That's my client. That's the, we work for them, or they work, that kind of thing. You personalize it. So her saying that, Chaz is her client, when she's speaking in the generalization form, as far as me being an agent of the company, I work for this company, and this particular ball player in this case has retained our law office to represent him. He is now a client of this company, right? And so I represent the company. So I think when she tells Zach that, for those who are kind of not understanding why she keeps saying that, I believe that's the term that she's talking about, because I would do the same thing. You know what I mean? Like we again, where I'm from in corporate, we kind of say, oh, our client is saying this and this and this and this. And so I'm not a lawyer, by the way, but I'm just saying in different corporate realms, that happens sometimes in conversations, those type of scenarios where you generalize a person. This is our client, this is our borrower, this is our, you see what I'm saying? Like that kind of thing when you represent an agent of the company, meaning I work for this particular company. And what I do can affect the company is because I work for the company. I am an agent of the company. So with that being said, Moving on. So yes, I do think that Andi is jealous of Fatima in the corporate aspect, in the job aspect, because why? Let's talk about money, right? So they work at a law firm. So all they care about is dollar bills, y'all. Come on. At the end of the day, it is always about money. And so much so, to prove that, is that the reason that Andi actually even got her position back was because her high dollar client, her billionaire client, came in. Miss Marie said that if you let her go, I'm taking my business with you. So that's how we know this is a money's game, right? So for those who are kind of like, not understanding why so much important, like, Fatima is kind of dividing her focus, because this is an opportunity for her, and this is money for the company. So here's my thought on this. I don't think Fatima would get in trouble, although Andi is having her do some things that the senior partner already told her, we are not taking on this case. Andi is the one who's actually being insubordinate. Because a lot of people are like, Fatima is wrong and Fatima ain't doing but Andi is actually being insubordinate, because Andi has been told straight out twice now that they're not, he first told her, Mr. Benson, that's not something that we're going to take on, Andi. That just don't sound like you have much of a case. So he told her, kind of leave it, that was him saying, like, leave it alone. Just, I know him. He's not that kind of guy. I don't really think you're going to find anything. So she went ahead and kept digging. Then he finally put his foot down and said, we not doing this, leave it alone, drop it. And if you can't do that, then maybe this company isn't a good fit with you. He straight out told her, don't look into this anymore, to drop this. What did she do? She told Fatima to continue on, and we're going to look into it under the table discreetly. But guess what? It's still insubordination. He is the senior partner, so if he's telling her to stop, and then she even told Fatima last night that, I don't know that these are going to be enough to make him take the case. He already told you to leave it alone. So I'm going to need people to be fair in that aspect. So while Fatima did drop the ball one day, Andi is now in a pattern. Andi has literally displayed levels of insubordination just within this couple of days multiple times. So for Fatima to be kind of broadening her horizons and kind of trying to see if I can bring in these high clienteles that was initially brought in from Miss Marie, and Andi did not take on the meeting. Andi, in all honesty, should not have said, Fatima, you go ahead and look into it, because I want to, get started on this possible case with Karen and this doctor. She should have put that on hold and went to see what Miss Marie, who is her client, her billionaire client, the high dollar value client for this company, and went to see what was going on with her godson and take care of that. She could have did that and then went on with her business. She didn't. She went ahead and let Fatima handle it. Fatima did offer. She was like, I can go take care of it for you. But that was when you supposed to be the boss to say, no, let me go ahead and do it. But she did let Fatima do it. So Fatima decided to go ahead and look over the contract. She told the guy straight out, I'm not a lawyer, but I do read over contracts. So this is what I think you should take to your manager, right? To get approval and see what he thinks. Turns out she did such a good job that they apparently, he told the rest of his team, and so she ended up bringing in more teammates. We don't know how many, it doesn't say, but he did say he was going to go and take it to his teammates, so we know he took it in. So she now has brought in at least one that we know of, but she said players, that it kind of became a competition. So I'm thinking she has brought in two, or has a relationship with two high-end clients now. No matter what, corporate is about money. So while people are saying like Fatima is wrong and this kind of stuff, in all honesty, when you take this, if she took this situation to Mr. Benson right now, the only thing he's going to do is kind of tell her to make sure that she's doing what she already is doing, which is to make sure that you have an attorney, an actual licensed attorney looking over your information and your work, which is what Hayden is doing. So Andi got jealous that Fatima is starting to bring in some high-level clients, And guess what? In her words, you're not even an attorney yet. But it shows you what I could do, right? So I know my stuff. So with that being said, Hayden is looking over her work. He hasn't come back and said anything nasty and snarky, because you know he would. So obviously she's doing a good job. And he's like, so he's looking over her work. You know what I'm saying? In this particular thing, Andi is upset because, first of all, and jealous because she's getting attention and she's bringing in money for these with these basketball clients. She is now working with Hayden, which she knows Fatima can't stand Hayden. So for her to actually be able to put aside her feelings, which I'm actually not shocked why she doesn't think that is Fatima like, because Fatima has done it with Karen forever, for months at this point, meaning being able to be cordial and get work done. So she's working with Hayden, who is not somebody that just Fatima doesn't like, but Andi can't stand. So now that's 2 strikes, right? And so now let's take up this other thing. And my best friend, supposedly best friend, contacted you when she was in need. Now, the shade about this, Fatima did everything possible not to really kind of disclose anything that Karen was saying to Fatima, to Andi during this meeting, but you can tell Andi wanted to know. And the fact that even the look that she gave her, like she was like, but she called you. And, Fatima was like, yeah, I was kind of shocked too, but we glad she okay, right? You know what I'm saying? Because here's the thing, Andi was missing some cues as well, because Karen has been telling Andi that their relationship is pretty much done on how it was. Now, she never cut her off completely, but she definitely got to the point where she was letting her know that we not cool like we used to be. Like, our relationship has taken its course in certain directions. We are now, remember my conversation in the other video about friendship evolving in different directions. And so Karen has not been able to get over the fact that in her eyes, whether people believe it or not, she believes that Andi was always taking Fatima's side, while she's coming into an understanding of who Fatima is and why. It probably still doesn't mean that she feels comfortable with her enough to, kind of that they back on that level, because she didn't call her. And that's just the truth of the matter. And so now Andi got a whole nother reason to be jealous and tripping over Fatima about it. So it's going to be interesting to see how far she's going to take this, because the shade was already there when she brought it up. Like, Fatima was a little off because, again, she had just had an argument with Zach. She probably wanted to discuss it with Andi, but, Andi has been such a, just really off-putting these last few, let's say yesterday, because she had the same outfit on for a couple episodes. So it was really just yesterday. You was all up my tail and on my case the whole day. So yeah, I feel, I'm a little kind of getting my thoughts and everything in order, which she said, no, I'm just trying to, refocus everything and my attention on work. Which, so she probably wanted to have that conversation with her, because guess what? We are friends. I considered us friends, but this the way that you've been coming at me just since yesterday over a couple of slip ups, and then you want to throw my relationship into it when she mentioned, how does Zach feel about all these presents? And Fatima let her have it too, so you want me to CC him too? Like, definitely some shade is there, right? So Fatima was probably wanting to share some things with her, but realizing something is up and I'm gonna go ahead and keep this to myself, so let me refocus. So Andi, you okay? And Fatima told her, yeah, no, I'm good. I'm just trying to refocus. And right when she was getting ready to leave, she stopped her and talked about Karen. Let's talk about Karen. And so she's like, yeah, I'm glad she okay. Fatima is like trying not to, get into it, because again, you yesterday was all about business. And then, you know what I'm saying? And coming at me about business. So let's talk about business. And so Fatima tried to keep that conversation short. And so while Andi was trying to pry to see if Fatima would say some stuff, it never happened. And so you can tell she had an attitude in that too, because she was like, Karen, and she was like, yeah, we're safe. She's safe. I'm glad she's safe and everything. And she was like, but she called you. And she was like, yeah, meaning, out of everything that she's been doing, with you guys, and you not really getting along with her, and she been cussing you out and everything, and out of all people, like, she bypassed me, she bypassed Danny and Sabrina, and she went to you. Now, yeah, what do you want me to say? Like, she actually told y'all why she called me in front of me. So I know you know the reason that she did it. And so what do you now you coming at Fatima, you want her to explain something that Karen did? Like, how am I supposed to explain the reasoning that she did something better than what she explained? So she was really just trying to get Fatima to tell her what happened, like give her some more insight, because Fatima's the only one who knows exactly where she was. So obviously she knows that she had some conversation because she knows Fatima. Fatima knows how to pull information. Like, so what's going on? You know what I'm saying? And Andi didn't. So Andi is probably going to be in her feelings about this. I wouldn't be shocked, especially since now the tides are turning, meaning at this point, Andi is probably going to start feeling what Karen was feeling, which was all arrows are pointing towards Fatima. Like, she went in the career aspect, because hear me when I say this, I do not believe that Fatima would be chastised by the senior partners if they found out that she was helping out these clients with the money. With their contracts, because once again, it's about money. Like I said, Mr. Benson already told her, you supposed to be doing stuff that's billable hours. That all this research and stuff that you putting all this energy into it, and you doing it on company time, not billable. We are not really paying you a salary to do that. We are paying you a salary to bring in new clients and bring in, stuff that we can actually get some money off of, big money preferably, right? But and I'm not saying that if this case were to blow up, it wouldn't have its good, his money in regards to a huge settlement, that type of thing. But the issue is that he's already told her no twice. And so I truly don't believe that Fatima would get into any trouble with this. I think, again, like I said, they would just tell her, make sure that Hayden is looking over everything and is good. In all honesty, it's probably making her look better because, again, you a paralegal, you are not a licensed attorney, but it is giving her some experience to see maybe criminal law, what you want to go into, think about some other things, which for those who watch Fatima, it is seeming like that, right? Like, she's looking over these contracts, working with these high dollar people, and then she gets an opportunity to work with a R&B artist in Fatima. So absolutely, it's expanding her areas of interest that she can look into, and Andi may not be handling that well, and she might be showing a little jealousy, and it looks like she is. I mean, if she looks at everything that Fatima is doing, Fatima winning, right? Like, I mean, she in a relationship with a committed relationship with the man that she loves. He's not cheating on her. She's pregnant and having his baby. He bought her a house. He put her in it. It may not be the penthouse, but she's in love. She's in a committed relationship. She has friendships. You know what I'm saying? Like, and now her career. So it could be that Andi is jealous truly because Fatima's life looks like it is checking all boxes. But, I don't know. I think it's natural sometimes for some people to feel that type of a jealousy. So I think she just needs to kind of get over it and watch it, you know what I mean? And work through why she's feeling jealous of her friend. But, it could also show that maybe you're not as cool or as friendly as you thought. You know what I'm saying? I honestly, you guys kind of said that she's a part of the sister circle now, but you hating. Like, that's not sister circle-ish to me. You know what I'm saying? Me and my friends, we celebrate each other's wins. We're not jealous of each other. Sometimes, like, these women in this show tend to, exhibit attitudes and stuff like that you would have when you kind of younger, unless you just really have never really had any type of friendships or anything. And so you really are not experiencing, as a result, you've not experienced what it is to either be jealous of a friend, have a friend jealous of you, those kind of things. And so she hasn't worked through them yet. They kind of call it arrested development, I believe, is when you kind of don't experience certain things and learn how to work through them. But anyway, that's what I think that is happening with Miss Andrea Barnes. And I think she's starting to also lash out because of the trauma that she's having, and she's just doing it in the wrong way. Because even the attitude that she had with Karen at her house, you don't get to have an attitude with me because I didn't call you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Obviously it was the reason. And then when she told her, she was being nice about it by saying you busy. But once again, you already like jetted out on me. So why would I think that you would, want to be there? You say that you said you wanted to be there that night, but you left after sitting there for 5 minutes and talking to me or whatever. So, and anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Again, let me know your thoughts in the comments, and let's get into it. See you next video. Bye.